morning, everyone. This is your daily dose of elevation, leveling up your spirit one stream at a time. Today is Sabbath. Thank you for joining us. Give it a few moments to get everybody here. Just getting everything set up right now. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate them. I won't ask for them. Maybe I will once during a stream to like, subscribe, follow, and share to anyone you think might learn something or receive some peace. We do interfaith sermons here, so everyone is welcome. No one person is better than another. No one culture, no one religion. Religion is man-made out of fear to control us. We hear about a deeper, more spiritual relationship. So if you're here, welcome. Thanks for being here, and happy Sabbath. We're going to start off with a song. It's called Walk Where They Walked. If you like the music on the stream, go ahead, look me up on Spotify or YouTube. That same name up there, L.Rain, and enjoy it for yourself in your free time. This song is called Walk Where They Walked from the album Harmonics of the Eternal Realm.
Sunrise on my tired face, coffee in a chipped old cup. Read those words of love and mercy, but this hard heart keeps tightening up. They said, feed the hungry, heal the hurting, turn your cheek, not turn away. All those names on holy pages, still I'm stumbling through the day. I wanna walk where they walked, side by side with my Lord. Love my neighbor like my brother, live the truth in every word. They all preach the same sweet mercy, every mountain, every shore. If they sang the same old message, why can't we follow it more?
Mr. L. Lover, we don't have that kind of talk here. One morning, we don't talk like that.
I see a stranger at the corner, cardboard sign and shaking hands. I feel that tug, that quiet whisper, but I still count my own demands. They cross deserts for compassion, climb their hills to set us free. Different tongues, but one commandment: what you do to them, you do to me. So I'm laying down my anger, let it rust, let it rot. Open doors instead of fences, share the little that I got. If those prophets found each other in the stories that we hold, would they ask us, would they beg us, child, let love be what you show?
Oh, you were not supposed to play another song. We will later, but not at this moment. This moment, we need to go into a little sermon time. It's being all weird. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Blessings to you. This is your daily dose of elevation, leveling up your spirit, one stream at a time. Today's sermon is From Fire to Light, the offering of the whole self. Beloved ones, gathered across nations, screens, and sacred places, spaces, places, here or mentally elsewhere. Today we enter a teaching that spans continents and centuries, a teaching that whispers through monasteries, temples, forests, deserts, and the quiet chambers of the human heart. We begin with a line from Meister Eckhart, the German mystic whose words cut through illusion like a blade of light. The more we have, the less we own. This is not a condemnation of possessions, it's a diagnosis of the human condition. When our hands are full, our hearts are often empty, and we want to fill it with more. When our schedules overflow, our spirits starve. When we cling tightly, we lose the very thing we hope to keep. To cross cultures, from the Cherokee teaching of Dyoktu, the path of balance, to the Taoist principles of Wu Wei, effortless alignment, humanity has always known this truth. Real ownership is not possession. It is present, and it is devotion. Oh, I have to take this gift thing off. We're not here for gifts. We're here to spread the message. So today we explore what it means to offer ourselves wholly across traditions, across scriptures, and across the world. Going from Master Eckhart, we're going to touch from our Stoics and see what they have to tell us and see how it connects. This is the startup of you, as it aligns perfectly. But what does Socrates say? Just as one person delights in improving his farm and another his horse, so I delight in attending to my own improvement day by day. The rage these days is to start your own company, to be an entrepreneur. There's no question building a business from scratch can be an immensely rewarding pursuit. That's why people put their whole lives into doing it, working countless hours and taking countless risks. But shouldn't we be just as invested in building ourselves as we would be to any company? Like a startup, we begin as just an idea. We're incubated, put out into the world where we develop slowly, and then over time we accumulate partners, employees, customers, investors, and wealth. Is it really so strange to treat your own life as seriously as you might treat an idea for a business? Which one really is the matter of life and death? What is your focus? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks with piercing clarity about how humanity responds when the divine draws near. Fools deride me when I descend into human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as a supreme Lord of all that be. Even when Christ walked on the earth, he said, "You do not know me." My cats. Mama! One moment, I must cease and desist the fight that will surely ensue. Miss Ladyface. Yes. Squirt you in the butthole. Knock it off. Across cultures, this theme appears. In Judaism, the Holy One walks with Adam in the garden. the divine walked with him. In Christianity, the word becomes flesh and walks amongst men. In Islam, Allah sends prophets as clear signs. In indigenous traditions, spirit takes form in animal, ancestor, wind, and dream. And in African cosmology, the Orishas walk among us, embodied in ritual and rhythm. But Krishna continues with a sobering truth. He says, those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheist views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture are all defeated. Those who are bewildered, who do not draw near. It's not condemnation, it's a diagnosis. When we forget the sacred, when we forget where we came from, when we forget the divine, our culture collapses inward. When we lose reverence, our action loses meaning. And when we disconnect from spirit, our liberation becomes impossible. We're hollow inside. And the only thing that can fill that hollowness is the divine. And if we don't fill it with the divine, it becomes like a black hole. And we collapse inward on ourselves, on our culture, even our societies. Thank you so much for the likes, Porcelain Doll. Thank you for being here. Every tradition warns of the spiritual amnesia. The Blackfeet speak of Natoi, the sacred power that must be remembered lest life lose harmony. I'm not talking about Christianity. Christianity is a man-made religion that it uses fear to control the masses. That is not what Christ came here to do. It's okay, abracadabra. This is an interfaith sermon.
Because mod.io is in Bone.
It should be in your room. That's where it was last night. I'm here to show you that it's not about religion. It's about that deeper connection with the spirit, with the divine. And that divine is everywhere, in everything. I heard this wonderful quote from a comedian. He said that he got his view of God from AC/DC's roadie, who said, God is like a blanket we use to cover up the mysteries of life, and it takes form. I like to compare God to a giant quilt, huh? Can you put it on your tablet?
No, I need to do a code.
I swear, every time I do a sermon, the devil tries to distract me.
I'm not trying to distract you.
Just one moment, folks.
Just ask me.
Uh-huh. In the middle of my sermon.
I'm sorry that I can't find my phone.
Binging. Lose my train of thought. I don't like it. The Cherokee warned that forgetting the sacred leads to imbalance and sickness. And the Hermetic teachings declare, as above, so below. When the divine pattern is forgotten, the human pattern fractures. Oh, I was saying that God is like a blanket, like a giant quilt, and we're all holding on to a piece of that quilt. And if you know anything about quilting, you know that a quilt is put together in pieces. Some of them are triangles, some of them are squares, some of them are weird shaped. But a quilter pieces this whole quilt together by tiny pieces. It's like God is like each one of those tiny pieces, and one person is holding on to it, and all they can see is their tiny piece. But if they just look up and look at their neighbors and ask their neighbor about their tiny piece, and then they put it together, all those tiny pieces make a giant quilt that is beautiful. But unless we are willing to open up and lift our eyes to the divine, instead of being focused on just ourselves and our own perspective, then we can truly see the greater immensity of the divine. He says, I created you in tribes. to know one another, not to war with each other, not to fight over differences, but to know one another, to get to know one person's story and another person's story so that you can have all these different perspectives and know that I am in all of them. That's what the divine wants. We've returned to the Torah, which is the Hebrew base of the Bible, the first testament of the Holy Bible. We read it, but we forget that it's a history of the Hebrew people. It was the history of when God tried to teach them and gave them rules and ways to live, and they kept wanting more. Instead of seeking the divine, they sought what joys they could find on this earth. This is the burnt offering. When a man from among you brings a sacrifice to God, if his sacrifice is a burnt offering from cattle, it moves on. The olah was completely consumed by fire. That offering, nothing was held back. Nothing was kept for personal use. It symbolizes total surrender, the offering of the whole self. That's what we are supposed to do. Offer our whole self so that there's nothing kept for our personal use, but to be used by the divine. The Torah commands, negative commandment 146, you may not eat within your gates the vows which you vowed. Deuteronomy 12:17. The burnt offering cannot be consumed. It can't be used for personal benefit. It was not transactional. It was transformational. It was, here, I give this freely and willingly, not with burden, not with complaint, and not holding anything back. It's a spiritual psychology. This is the spiritual psychology of sacrifice. One moment. You cannot consume what you are trying to release. You cannot cling to what you're trying to surrender. You cannot benefit from what you are offering to God. When you say, God, I give this to you, or like that song, Jesus, take the wheel, you can't be holding on to the wheel and then say, Jesus, take it, because you're going to be wanting to do this. Let go. Let go of all of it. God, the divine takes care of the animals out in the wild. Yes, some of them die, but so is the way of nature. If some would not pass away, there wouldn't be enough food for others. Bad things happen. That doesn't mean that God is bad. It just means that there's balance. For that bird that may have died, there's more food for the family it may have left behind. Someday I may die. And I don't want to be remembered for me. I want to be remembered for who I pointed towards. I want to be remembered for these messages that I gave and the passion behind them, because it didn't come from me. It came from the divine. But only when we fully let go. Across cultures, these themes echoes. In Hinduism, the yajna, fire, consumes an offering as a symbol of purification. In Buddhism, monks burn incense to represent the burning away of ego. In African traditions, offerings are given without expectation of return. I don't know what the ban would be. I am not doing anything. I don't even know if that's real. But we're going to block them. Yeah, we're going to turn it on. Okay. In Shinto, offerings are made to maintain harmony, not to gain advantage. And in Cherokee practice, tobacco offerings are given with humility, not demand. We as people, when we do something out of the kindness of our heart, is it truly out of the kindness of our heart if we're expecting something back, whether it be from that person, another person, or the universe? No. We're supposed to do it just because that's what love is. Love for our fellow man, love for our neighbor, our brethren. Each one of you that is here listening or commenting, you're a brother or a sister of mine, because we were all created by the divine. The Olah teaches us some things must be given without return. Some things must be burned so that the soul can rise. Right now, we're going through an extreme heat wave in many parts of the United States, and people are complaining. Every summer I hear it, the complaining, oh my, it's so hot. And yet when winter comes, it's so cold. Appreciate it. Appreciate the heat in the summertime. That heat is there to purify you, to let you sweat out those toxins. In the cold, it's cold because you are supposed to hibernate. You are supposed to be with family and contain your warmth. Nature goes through these stages and these seasons for a reason. Some things must be burned so that the soul can rise. During those heat waves, enjoy the heat, enjoy the sweat, because it's getting rid of the toxins inside of you. The Torah continues on about the sin offering. This is the law of the sin offering from Leviticus, which is the law. The Chatata is not about punishment. It is about restoration. It's about returning to alignment. When they came to offer these sin offerings, they didn't come to offer them and then go back and sin. They came and they sat there while it burned. And those sin offering parts were burned. Parts were consumed by the priests who were giving that absolution, and parts of them were set aside. These teachings were profound psychological truth. And here it is. Healing requires discernment. Those things we need to look at ourselves and know the things that we need to change about ourselves. Not everything must be burned. Not everything must be kept either. Some parts of us must be released so that we become the true beings we were meant to become. See, we are three people. We are who we used to be, who we are, and who we will be. When we realize we want to change, when we have discernment, we can see who we used to be. And that is when we say, okay, I don't want to be that person anymore. So some of those parts need to be burned away, but some of those parts you need to keep. Some parts must be integrated and sanctified for you to become who you're supposed to be. Your greater purpose in life. This mirrors the Buddhist's noble eightfold path, the Taoist balance of yin and yang, the African principle of Ubuntu, restoring harmony, not just amongst yourself, but amongst the people and the masses, the Hermetic principle of rhythm, cycles of fall and return. It is only when we fall and we make those mistakes can we realize, wow, what caused this mistake? How can I change that? The indigenous practice of purification through sweat lodge and smoke. The sin offering teaches us that transformation is not destruction, it is reordering. Sometimes I just like to go and sit in the bath and let the hot water, as hot as I could stand, get in there and just steam it up. If you can't get to a sauna or a sweat lodge or something like that, you can make your own sauna at home. Be careful if you open the door, the fire alarm might go off because of the smoke. But if it does, take it as an alarm of, hey, your cleansing has been verified. We're going to play another song for a moment, and then we'll come back and read from, well, we might have a phone call when we come back, who knows. But for sure, we're going to read from the Quran, and then some more other traditions around the world. Let's see, though. We got to find a good one. I guess we can go with the next song. This song is called When Heaven's Eyes Are Crying. I do these interfaith sermons because I believe we need more peace around the world and less division, less arguing, less I'm right and you're wrong. You're both right, fools! You just have different perspectives because you each have an individual relationship with the divine. And we are supposed to not be isolated, but come with 2 by 2. So if one falls or one stumbles, the other can say, hey, I am here for you. Are you sure you're okay? You sure you're doing okay? Because sometimes when we stumble on that path, when we are seeking to do the will of the divine, we might get off track. It's a great song I played not yesterday, but the day before. You can find it on another album called Clashing Prophets. Sometimes that shadow self and that light self inside, we struggle. You should take credit. Whoops. They should make a religion based on you. Kind of like they did with Christ. Christ never said to worship him. He said, worship the Father, for that is who he worships as well. My grandmother asked me, well, where does it say that? It says that many times in scriptures. In John, and later, in Luke. This song is When Heaven's Eyes Are Crying, because with all this division and discontent, heaven's eyes are crying right now.
Another headline, another name we never learned to say. Shouting in the comment lines, like every stranger's someone we can break. Windows lit on empty streets, screens glow cold on violent tape. Someone's child caught between our tribes and all this rage. When heaven's eyes are crying, every tear could flood this place. God's heart breaking like a storm. Every time we turn away, we keep drawing sharper lines over skin and over faith. When heaven's eyes are crying, love is begging us to change. He sees dinner tables where silence cuts much deeper than the words. Brothers sharing bloodlines, but not a single sentence ever heard. Hands that could be holding, turn your fists that tremble in the air. Every time we curse a name, he's standing in that empty chair. When heaven's eyes are crying, if we could feel, if we could feel the crack in his chest, hear how it sounds when mercy is stressed. Would we still throw stones from our chosen sides, or finally see his face in every pair of eyes?
God's calling. Are you going to answer? guardian angels, he says. God says, you are mine. You are mine. Once I have set on you my stamp and seal of ownership, all my hosts throng to serve and protect you. Remember that you are daughters and sons of the King. Try to picture a bodyguard of my servitors in unseen waiting, longing, efficient to do all that is necessary for your well-being. Feel this as you go through the day. Feel this, and all is well. You are sons and daughters of royalty. And you have the protection of the throne of grace. Isn't that amazing? The divine has given us authority over his angels, her angels, whichever you relate to the most. In the Quran, Allah speaks of revelation as liberation. He it is who sends down clear signs to his servant that he may bring you out of every kind of darkness into the light. And verily, Allah is compassionate and merciful to you. This is the universal movement of the Spirit. From darkness to light, from confusion to clarity, from fragmentation to wholeness. The Lord was in the darkness before there was ever light. The divine spoke light into existence. How much more can he speak clarity into our life? Every culture knows this movement, this transition. The Navajo speak of Hozho, walking in beauty and oneness with nature. The Yoruba speak of Ori, the inner light guiding destiny. So we shouldn't have to look outwards, but it lives within us. As the quote from Lion King, I live in you. God, the divine lives in you, seeks to be with you every day. The Tao Te Ching says, in the darkness, the light is born. For it's only in darkness that we can see the light shining for us. The Hermetic principles of vibration teaches that all rises toward higher frequency. That's the goal, to reach towards the divine. In everything we say, do, think, because what we think, we become. What we speak manifests into reality. The Buddhist Dharma is called the lamp that dissolves darkness. And that same analogy is in scripture when it says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. That scripture follows me every single day as I step foot on this earth, where I imprinted it on my feet as a reminder. Allah's compassion is not abstract. The divine is active. The divine is the descent of guidance into the human heart. We just need to seek after it more. See, we don't have to seek the things that are outside of us because the divine lives within us. He's just waiting for us to listen, to be still and know that the divine resides with us, all around us. And if we are willing to open our eyes and to stop living in our blinders, but to look up, to ask for wisdom and knowledge. That's backwards. Wisdom is in the heart, knowledge is in the mind. Finally, we hear the prophet Jeremiah proclaim from Jeremiah 32:17, O sovereign Lord, you have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and outstretched arm. Nothing is too hard for you. Hello, Heidi Joe. Thank you for being here. This is the crescendo of our journey. The God who asks for surrender, the God who descends in human form, not just in Christianity, but across cultures. There's the same story of God stepping up and sacrificing everything and dying for us, being hung on a hook or a cross. The divine who burns away illusion, the God who restores the broken, who brings light into darkness, is the same God who holds the cosmos in his hands, who takes care of the sparrows and makes sure that they are fed, and is taking care of you. Thank you, Terrence. See, across cultures, this truth is echoed. In Hinduism, Vishnu sustains the universe. In Islam, Allah is Al-Qadir, the all-powerful. In Judaism, God stretches out the heavens. Thank you for the follow. In Christianity, nothing is impossible with God. And in indigenous traditions, the Creator shapes the world with breath, song, and intention. Everything is intentionally made. Even in the Bible, when God created everything, he says it's good. And then he created man and said it's very good. He created us. Oh, thank you, Heidi. I hope you guys enjoy the beach. You can't get on that one, it will fall. It's hot out, so go enjoy that sunlight and that water, and the sand, and the joys of the children laughing. Hello, Z. I know someone with that name too. In African cosmology, the supreme being is the source of all possibilities. All possibilities. Nothing is impossible unless you believe it is. So what does this all mean for us? It means we are the burnt offering. We are the sin offering. We are the vessel of light. We are the place where God descends. We are the ones who must surrender what we cannot keep. We're the ones who must release what no longer serves us or serves the Lord. We are the ones who must walk from darkness into light. We come out of those caves realizing that the shadow world is not reality. And we see the light when we look up and we acknowledge the greatness that is so much greater than us. And then we go back into that cave. We walk back into the darkness and share that light that we have found with others who may be struggling to find it. And how do we share that? We share that with our stories, with our testimonies. And what part of testimony is there? Test. You cannot have a testimony unless you've gone through a test. The strongest faiths that I have ever encountered are in people who have gone through hardships and trials and tribulations, who become that diamond because of the heat and the pressure, who have allowed themselves to be that burnt offering, who have said, I can do nothing except for with your help, because I've tried on my own and look what it got me. The Cherokee say that the heart is the fire. The Taoists say that the heart is the center. The Buddhists say the heart is the seat of awakening. The Yoruba say the heart is the throne of Ori. The Hermetics say that the heart is the bridge between above and below. The heart is where we hold our light, our wisdom. And Meister Eckhart reminds us, the more we have, the less we own. Why would I want to gain the world just to lose my soul? So today we choose to own what cannot be taken from us. We own our devotion, our presence, and the presence of the divine with us. Our surrender of ourselves, the light that we hold within us because the divine created us to hold it. The alignment that we have with the divine, the compassion that we are told to have for one another, the courage to take that step and be different, to step out of the norm, to say there's something wrong with society and I'm going to step up and I'm going to have the courage to say, that's not right. That's not what he said. That's going to be the last song we play after this. and truth. Have the courage to stand up for truth, compassion, and mercy. Because heaven's eyes are crying with what's going on in the world today. May the God who descends in human form, actually, we're going to wait to read our closing benediction until we play this song. Let me find it real quick. So I can tell you what album it's on if you enjoy it. Is it this one? Yep. Okay. This album, the song is called What He Really Said, and it is on the album The Eclipse Testament. If you like the music, here you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much any streaming service you want. Just look for my name, L. Rain, and you will find it. Again, this song is called What He Really Said, because people who claim to follow Christ, Christians, which is, again, not what Christ wanted. He didn't want a religion based on him, worshiping him. No, he said, follow me. Not just follow me to his disciples that were here on earth, but follow me as in follow the example I'm setting for you, because the divine has sent you messengers over and over again, and you still don't get it. So I'm going to set the example and follow me. He didn't want war. He didn't want worship. Not for him, at least. But to the divine, the Father. So my Father is your Father. My God is your God. He said that after he was resurrected. And Mary Magdalene saw him and tried to cling to him. He said, don't cling to me. I haven't ascended. That's the goal, to ascend, right? To be with the divine. And he told her in that moment, go and tell my brethren, my Father is your Father. I will ascend to my Father, who is your Father, and my God, who is your God. I love this song.
Yeah. Flip the tables in the temple, money changers running. Said the meek inherit earth, not the ones who stuntin'. Camels through a needle's eye, the rich they bluffing, hoarding all their treasure, hearts full of nothing. Blessed are the peacemakers, not the war machines, not the Pharisees scheming in their holy routines. Bread for the hungry, wine for the masses, not a kingdom of gold, but love that surpasses. What he really said, it ain't what they taught. Not the greed, not the hate, not the battles fought. Turn the other cheek, break the chains instead. Open up your heart, that's what Jesus really said. Feet in the dust, sandals worn to the thread. Walking with the outcast, raising the dead. He said forgive them, even when it's tough. Said love your enemies, this world's corrupt. No stones for the sinner, who among is clean. He drew in the dirt, exposed the unseen. Parables for the people, truths in disguise. Told them plant good seeds, see the harvest rise. Not a throne, not a crown, no empire to grow. Just a kingdom of faith, in the hearts it'll show.
Kingdom of faith. And if it's in their heart, let it show. He said, by your actions I will know you. Not by your words, but by your actions. So think about it for a moment. Do you walk out of these services? You walk out of church and go right back to doing the same thing that you told God you weren't going to do anymore? I know I struggle with some things. Mainly two right now. I smoke tobacco and I smoke marijuana. And some of you might not agree with either one of those. And I'm going to tell you right now that tobacco, it's been used as a burnt sacrifice for generations and culture. But the way that the chemicals are put in it now, it's not a true sacrifice. So I've been praying, God to take it away. And I'm struggling with letting it go. I got one hand on the wheel. And I'm like, okay, I got it, God. I can do this on my own. And he says, would you just let go? Because I know you can't, fool. I know you can't. Because you can only do it with me. That's why I made a little spark of me inside each one of you. had a conversation with God one day, and I was really sad, and I said, God, you've forgotten who you are. And God said, no, I haven't. What are you talking about, fool? So I haven't forgotten who I am. I look at all of these people, everything I've created, and I see myself in it all. How can I forget who I am? Reminds me of the Lion King, you know? And Simba forgot who he was. I live in you. God lives in you, in all of you, wherever you are on your journey. You could be broken, homeless, sleeping under a bridge, addicted to crack. God still is with you, crying, saying, my child, I love you, and I'm trying to take care of you the best that you allow me to. But you gotta let go. You gotta let go of the things that are hurting you. You gotta let go of the things that are keeping you from me. I just want to live with you. So may the God who descends in human form, the God who burns away illusions, the one who restores the broken and brings light into the darkness, may that God who stretches out the heavens to guide you into the offering of your whole life, wherever you are. May your heart become the altar and your life become the sacrifice. May your spirit become the flame and your path become the light. May your feet be guided. And may you discover in every tradition, every scripture, every breath, wherever you are, that nothing is too hard for the one who made you. The one who made you and lives inside of you. Amen. Ahom. Om Shanti. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom Mataki Osanin. Blessed be in all different languages. We'll play one last song to wrap it up. See if we can find a good one, huh? Oh, yes. We were talking earlier about the shadow self and the non-shadow, the light self, and how, there's a clash. But sometimes we just got to let the divine eclipse our status. It's not about us. It's about the divine. This is called Eclipsed by Divinity. It's a little heavier. So.
Chains of light crushing me.
Sometimes the road is heavy.
A golden weight, eternity. Heaven's fire burns my soul. Freedom lost in control. Glory blinds, I cannot see. God above, consuming me. Eclipsed by divinity. No breath left. Infinity. A throne of pain, a holy fight. I'm drowning in the blinding light. Fingers clawed, the veil won't tear. Prayers echo, unanswered air. Wings of angels, sharp as knives. They cut me just to keep me alive. Sacred wrath, it crushes stone.
So be eclipsed by divinity as you leave here today. Allow the divine to eclipse you, your life. Feel those wings of angels wrap around you. And yes, their wings are sharp as knife, not only to keep you alive and make you know that, hey, the pain is worth it in the end, but to keep the enemy away as well. You are more than what you know, and you have a purpose far greater than yourself, if only you will embrace it. This has been your daily dose of elevation, leveling up your spirit one stream at a time. Blessings to you all. Thank you for joining. If you felt a seed planted or your seed watered here today, share it. Share it with somebody who you think might benefit, even if they just listen for a little while. We're digging a hole to plant that seed. Have a wonderful day, and happy Sabbath.